Hi, I'm LimeyPlay, and today we're going to take a look at another one of Daniel Pratt's rants.
Alright, so I'm going to explain once again, because people they don't get apparently where I'm coming from.
A place of hate, discrimination, and delusional ignorance?
Why, Dan, why do you always address these trolls? Why even bother? Why? Let's go over that, shall we?
I'm quite honestly overflowing with anticipation, mate.
These people, there are people out here, these trolls, these demons.
Is he talking about us?
They live to torture people mentally.
I suspect you do that to yourself.
They are too big a cowards to do it physically, to act on their wickedness physically.
No, it's actually because that would be assault.
So they live online to cause turmoil, strife, chaos, and torture to people mentally, emotionally. They get off on it.
A lot of us are here because we care about our fellow man, and so try to educate you and hopefully bring you back to reality one day.
Now, I recognize that.
I personally doubt that you'd recognize a rotating oblate spheroid if it landed on your junk.
I see their weaknesses. I, the sinner in me, acts on it and gives them a taste of their own medicine.
But has it not instead occurred to you that we'd leave you alone if you stopped sharing your complete misunderstanding of physics and of the world that we live in?
I know that Irish demon
is a top bloke. Well, that's enough for only joshing. All right then, Daniel, let's see what you want to say.
Is self-conscious that he's a fat fuck that's worthless. That's why he sits online and does nothing but insults and degrades other people.
That's just a little bit extremely bang out of order, sunshine. To be honest, I don't think Irish Demon feels self-conscious about his physical appearance in the slightest. He seems to be a genuine, happy, funny geezer who you just happen to dislike because he's consistently pulls you up on your bullshit.
As he virtue signals to his lemmings on his channel that he's a decent person.
Oi, I'm one of those lemmings. And virtue signaling? If anyone's expressing a morally disingenuous viewpoint with the intent of communicating good character, I'd say it's you, Danny boy.
He's just the latest Johnny-come-lately demon that I'm using as an example, okay? Those that have been around have seen the parade from Michael Thompson to, what was his name? Brian, that moron up in Canada. I've had so many of these demons.
Shouldn't that tell you something?
That because they don't hate me, they hate God, and they hate truth and honesty.
I honestly don't think that any of the countless people that go against all of the bollocks you speak actually hate God. In fact, many of them, including me, just see no proof that God actually exists. And as for hating truth and honesty, you may not realize this, Pratt, but we are trying to spread truth to combat all of the misinformation being spouted by people such as yourself.
That's what they really hate. So I shine the light on that. I expose it. If you aren't doing that, what are you doing here? What's the point?
Again, to combat stupidity.
This is why I didn't start doing videos until Flat Earth.
I bet this will be interesting.
because I knew the power of it, because I knew it exposed that our earth is a creation. And because of that, there has to be a creator.
Maybe there is, but if so, I doubt very much that it's the creator from the Bible. There's just too many contradictions and stories that have been borrowed from much older religions.
I figured out who that creator is, and it is not at all difficult to see which creator, which quote unquote religion, that it's Jesus, because that is who these people hate more than anything.
Now, while I'm no longer religious, when I never thought that mine must be the only proper religion, just a different one. And now I still don't hate Christianity, nor do I hate God or Jesus. I just don't see any evidence that they exist.
They don't hide it.
We don't have it.
So even though I come out and give them a taste of their own medicine, it's because I hope somewhere deep down inside there's still a tiny molecule of humanity in them, and it may affect it. It may spark something in them.
Humanity? Coming from a bloke that calls YouTubers demons, whores, twinks, and pedophiles, I think you need to take a long, hard look at yourself, mate.
To realize how empty and worthless their lives are, because all they can do is sit online and insult people. I come out and discuss that water's always level.
Not always, but this is one of the many things that flat earthers constantly misrepresent to suit their own narrative. Sea level simply refers to the level of the sea's surface. It's not flat, and it does curve with the globe due to the constant pull of gravity towards Earth's center.
Discuss the truths of flat earth, and this enrages them.
The only thing that, well, not enrages, but maybe saddens and frustrates us, is that you can't accept reality. You believe the Earth is flat because that's how we see it, but that's because of how tiny we are in respect to the Earth. Let's use some geometry to work out, why we can't see the curve of the Earth with the naked eye. So let's have a look at the geometry of this. If we have us standing at a point looking out to the horizon, we'll say that we're at sea level for this example. I'm using myself for user height, which is 6 foot. So my eye level is about 5'7". It's about 5.58 feet. The radius at my location is what we're going to use as well. And obviously we're keeping track of my height. Now, because we're looking out to the horizon right before it curves away, it forms a right angle of 90 degrees there, which means we are going to be able to use the Pythagoras theorem. So if we say that the radius is A, the length we want to work out at first is B, and the radius plus the observer height is C. Using Pythagoras theorem, which is A squared plus B squared equals C squared, we can then determine B by doing B equals the square root of C squared minus A squared. So if we have A, which the radius is 3,955.077 miles at my point, and then we have, which works out as 20,881,798.08 feet. We have C, which is the radius plus the height. We add the 5.58 feet to it, and we get 20,881,803.66 feet. So it gives us basically B is the square root of RH squared minus R squared, which would be B equals the square root of 233,040,897.70. That is 15,265.68 feet. That works out as well at 2.89 miles. So now if we say that we're in the center of the circle, any way we look is, if there's nothing around us, there's no obstructions, it is, going to be that 2.89 miles. So first we'll work out the circumference, which is 2 pi r. So C is 2 times 3.14 times 2.89, which means C is equal to 8.717 miles. Now we have a 60-degree field of view in a 360-degree circle, which means that we have this section here is our field of view. That's how much horizon we're seeing. So we want to work out the arc length of that section. So 60 over 360 is 1/6. So we can do 18.17 miles divided by 6 is 3.03 miles. That is the amount of horizon that we are seeing. And the 3.03 miles works out as 15,986.17 feet. So finally, if we're looking at trying to work out Earth curvature, we know Earth curves at 7.98 inches per mile. So 3.03 miles gives us 24.16 inches of curvature, or a little over 2 feet. If we remember that 3.03 miles is about 15,996.17 feet, then we can work out that the curve that we see is only 0.0126%, which is basically 1 1/4 out of 10,000. That is the small amount we are trying to see. And that is why we can't see the curve with the naked eye.
They'll try to tell you, oh, it's because you're so stupid.
To be fair, Daniel, my son, while it only took a small part of one of your videos for me to realise that you're ignorant, it wasn't until seeing you consistently using hate speech and derogatory terms that I decided to consider you stupid.
These people are so empty and wicked inside that they can't comprehend that they've made their lives insulting people that they claim are stupid and crazy and ignorant. And so they spend their lives insulting these people and picking on these people. Effectively, what these people do is go up and slap a paralyzed person in a wheelchair. That's their life. That's what they live for. Metaphorically. That's what they do online daily, according to them.
Trying to teach you the truth about the world that we live in, whilst hopefully preventing others from following your views on the shape of the earth and other conspiracies, is most certainly nowhere in the vicinity of assaulting a disabled person. Metaphorically or not, that is ridiculous. And quite frankly, it's severely skewed perceptions like this that sadly make you and others like you prime candidates for these conspiracies. I think that's about all I can handle of Mr. Pratt today. But before I wrap this up, is there anything you'd like to add, Daniel?
I'm such an idiot. I'm such a moron.
Wow, finally we can agree on something. Well, that's enough for me today. We shall return to Mr. Daniel Pratt very soon. If you'd like to support my channel, you can do so through Patreon or PayPal. I've also set up a GoFundMe for better equipment so that I can produce more content. And I'll have links to all of that in the description. Please do leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed today's video. Subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified when I upload my next video. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Look after one another and stay safe. Goodbye.